Good day, everyone, and welcome to Different Stages Radio. I'm your host, JJ, broadcasting in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And my guest today is the frontman from rising SoCal thrashers Dead Heat, who are releasing their brand new album and first on Metal Blade today, Process of Elimination. Please welcome my guest, Chris Ramos. How are you?
What's up, y'all? How you doing today?
We're doing good. You're just getting adjusted, waking up, getting comfortable, getting your
Yes, sir.
lighting in order. Did you get a coffee in there, anything like that?
Not yet. I just took a shower, just getting refreshed. I gotta go buy a bunch of van parts today for our tour coming up, so gonna do that after this. Gonna get
Awesome.
started.
We'll get to talking about the tour and other things going on, but huge day for you. Today, Process of Elimination out, your first on Metal Blade. We'll talk about how this isn't your first album for people that are new to the band, but this is huge. How do you feel like you're on Metal Blade? This is a big deal.
I mean, it's finally happened. It's finally like here. I mean, we've been on Metal Blade for like the last year, but obviously nothing solidified it until now. So having this release, I just feel like I feel so accomplished with myself. I feel like we've done it as a band, like from what metal people or what you grow up doing. I don't know, grow up like listening to you see Metal Blade all the time. So like having this stamp now for me is like it solidified me as a metal artist.
Definitely, because one of the founding fathers of metal for sure, and as a label, especially in North America, you know, Slayer, King Diamond, Fate's Warning, Voivod, like this
Yes.
is huge. And I think it must be a great honor to have yourself being a part of that family.
Oh,
And,
for sure.
and how's it been so far working with them?
So far it's been good. I mean, they're very professional about what they do and they know exactly what they're doing. Um, but yeah, like I said, it wasn't until these last couple months that like they started like feel like talking to us some more and having like us be pronounced like what they're gonna do. But yeah, like at the beginning, like we weren't sure just like we were on Metal Blade, but we hadn't like talked about what we were gonna do. And then like finally we got to recording. We recorded maybe like I want to say at the end of that last year. So this has been like a good like rising for like 10 months of just like trying to hype this up and like get the feel of it. But yeah, with Metal Blade, I feel like they've helped us out tremendously already. Like we've already grown our audience at least like a quarter more from just them promoting it even before the album. So it's been good.
That's awesome. Now, were you out shopping for a deal, or did Metal Blade approach you?
I mean, we were. I think to start we were shopping for like someone to put out a new album, but it wasn't even that to start. We were just shopping record labels just to get onto and try to like see if we can actually push on. So I think I remember anything like we got a hold like Relapse and then Metal Blade 2 as well. But like there was a couple of different labels that came to check us out, and like Metal Blade just they fucked with us like. And I remember after I think it was one show in LA, they came out to see us and they're just like, this is. They basically like told us like, yeah, we're interested, and we're just like, I don't know. For us, it wasn't like, I don't know how to explain it. Like we were there, like we were waiting for them to come, like because somebody had told us like, oh, Metal Blade people might come, but then like when they finally like, told us like, oh yeah, like we're interested, I was like, we did it, we did it.
It's nice to see when all the hard work pays off.
Yeah,
And
for
and
real.
and now thinking, even though this is your first album on Metal Blade, for people that are new to Dead Heat, you're not a new band by any means. You've been plugging away and working hard for close to 10 years now, right?
Yeah,
It's nice to
it's
see
gonna
all
be 10 years this coming. Yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, 10 years.
Yeah, so it's nice to see all the hard work paying off. So for those that are checking out this interview and just getting involved and learning about Dead Heat, can you give us a bit of the backstory, how Dead Heat came together and your your deal, your
Yeah.
overall deal? Yeah.
So we originally started like around 2016, just like jamming. It was our guitarist Justin and our original guitarist Anthony. They wanted to start like a crossover type band because they were both into like that kind of like leeway and like those kind of era like of hardcore, but they were also into like Death Angel and stuff like that. So they wanted to have that little. Obviously, there was like Power Trip and doing that kind of stuff at the time too. So it was just very comfortable with us. But like that started in 2016, and then we put out like our first EP, and then like it was called just Dead Heat, self-titled. But we put that out, and then we toured on that extensively during those like first 2 years. After that, I think we put out a full length called Certain Death in 2019, or was it 2018? Either one of those two, one of those years. But yeah, that was our first full length that we put that out on like Edgewood Records. Every record that we've had has been on a different record label. So that's kind of like, I feel like one of our stamps too. We're just like doing one and off or something. But that was our first one. And then we did another full length called World at War. That was on Triple B Records, which is another hardcore label that's pretty pronounced in America. And after that, we did an EP this last like 2022 with it was Tank Crimes, which is I don't know if you like Dystopia, those bands are on that, Necrot. We did a split with them and Triple B on that one, and then obviously now we're putting out this record with Metal Blade. But yeah, we've been doing it hard since then. We've been going on tours like every year at least once or twice. But yeah, we just been grinding this whole time.
That's awesome. And for myself now, after listening to Process of Elimination a few times straight through, I find that it's quite interesting where sometimes it's that needle in the haystack as far as these, for me at least, being, you know, a dinosaur, these new school kind of guys trying to do the old school vibe. And sometimes it seems that, you know, to be frank, it's a bit contrived. And sometimes it's like, I don't know. But when I listen to Dead Heat, I'm like, no, these guys feel it. This seems legit. So I'm wondering, where does that kind of old school vibe come from? And do you have some awesome parents or uncles or aunts or people that really get that soul in there?
Well, for me, I think it was like my sister. She was really into like death metal when I was growing up, and she's like 12 years older than me. So she had that influence on me. Like she took me to shows growing up and stuff. I remember like being a little kid, I went to like a brujeria show, and I felt like I looked white, and they have a song called Matando Güeros. So I was all scared. But I remember like things like that when I was young, and I was like, oh shit, like I didn't realize that she instilled that into me today. But I was like Sepultura, like those kind of bands. She influenced me like straight on to get into that. And at an early age, it's easier to get into like harder stuff if you're getting into like that kind of stuff. So it was easier for me because I had like a foundation with my sister and stuff.
It all makes sense now. Can you speak for any of the other guys in the band as far as some of their family or where they came from?
Everybody else is different. Literally everyone. Like Justin, our guitarist. Well, he grew up in the OC, so he has his own thing. He was in the hardcore and stuff, so he has all that different mixtures of like, I don't know. I can't speak for everybody because everybody has their own thing. Yep. But like our drummer, he was a skinhead, oi punk his whole growing up. So he was like very into that culture and like Scots, like all that kind of stuff that involves with that. But he didn't really get into metal until like he was in our band too.
Okay.
Like per se. Our guitarist Ricky, he's always been a metalhead. He's always been like into Megadeth and like that kind of stuff and like very guitar tech kind of. Everybody else in the band is like, we got Vince, who is our musical prodigy. He has like he can do everything, like play drums, bass, guitar, but he's also our secret weapon. So he doesn't tour with us. He just does whatever he wants, like when he can. But he grew up with me, and we were in like the Oxnard hardcore scene, so we did that together, and like it was just like more punk based hardcore at the time. So we grew up on that, and then I can't really explain for Chanch, our bassist. He's kind of a mystery to me. But he's legit. Everybody in the band's legit. It's more hardcore based growing up though, because we grew up in the 2000s where that was very abundant.
But you throw you all in the pot and you mix it up and you get Dead Heat.
Exactly.
Now you had the pleasure around this time last year of touring with Exodus.
Yes.
That must have been an awesome experience. And then earlier in the year, you got to do some shows with Cavalera Conspiracy.
Yeah.
You did was it just that one-off with Mastodon? But
it was one-off with Mastodon, and then we played like a couple festivals with them, the same route. So yeah, it was like we were playing the same days, just like not on tour.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But as far as maybe more Exodus and Cavalera is concerned, as far as you actually being on the road with them, is there some intangibles that you learned from the veterans that, you know, you just picked up on and that are going to be invaluable for you as a performer and as a band moving forward?
Stay humble. No, that's the other thing. Like I've really learned, like especially from the Cavaliers, those guys. Since I grew up listening to Sepultura like early on, it felt like one of those things. Like, oh, I don't want to meet these guys because I don't want to like ruin my perception of how they are or something. But they turned out to be some of the nicest people ever, and like their camp is like legit. They just have their shit on lock. Um, yeah, but that was a great experience for me. The Exodus one, it was a little bit less in touch with them, so I didn't get to talk as much with them and stuff, or, like interact, as opposed to like how I did with the Cavaliers. But like, yeah, the Exodus one was pretty cool. Like that was obviously like the biggest band that we toured with today. Like I guess because they're part of, I don't know, they're part of the original fucking thrash. So, but yeah, having to do that, I was so stoked to be on that. Like, but yeah, I didn't really get to meet any of them that as much as I did like Cavaliers, I guess. That tour was just like very like one talking like every now and then. I was like, hey, all right, we're gonna do this. All right, see you later.
But there's probably even some things I'm just gathering that maybe you just may pick up from a distance, even if you're not actually having verbal conversations of
Oh
just
yeah,
how they
for sure.
operate their business and go, okay, I see that that's okay.
Yeah, like we saw like what we shouldn't do and what we should do. Yeah, I mean, we saw both ends of that. And like I said, we've been on tour a couple times, like a bunch of times. But these ones obviously are bigger, so we understand like the process of like how it is with like touring with like a bigger band, and like, you know, how you have to get there super early, get there square on, and like have all your stuff ready. Just I don't know. We really got into like the habit of knowing what and what not to do.
Yeah, that's so crucial, and that helps build more integrity and within the band, and people look at that, and it's huge. Now you talk about these shows that you did last year, and now you also talked earlier about you need to go do some van repairs later in the day to get ready for some touring. What's going on? Tell us about these shows you got coming up.
So we have a tour starting in November. We're supporting 200 Stab Wounds. They're on Metal Blade as well with us. But yeah, we're doing the last leg of their full US tour that they're doing. So it's gonna be from November 3rd to like November 16th or 17th. We're starting off in Denver, and then making our way back towards West Coast, and then going out, doing the whole route, and then ending off in St. Louis, I want to say. So it's just like a Midwest kind of like run, I guess. But we're doing that in November. After that, we're gonna like get our stuff ready so we can start our record release weekend. We're gonna have like maybe 3 or 4 shows.
Nice.
Yeah, all in California, but we're doing that in December, and then after that, we're hopefully preparing for a full US that we're trying to get locked down right now.
So that's still in the works. So nothing's nailed down yet for 2026.
Not the full yes yet.
Are you working on perhaps any Euro festivals come next summer?
We've been talking with our bookers and stuff about those, but yeah, we're gonna definitely be on some.
Definitely be on some. Now, just yesterday, you dropped a brand new video, a music video in preparation of the release of Process of Elimination. The Order. Can you talk a bit about that video and the fun of putting these things together?
Yeah, that was actually just a really fun video to make. That we made in our drummer's garage, and then our story that we had for it just flopped, so we like fully made a new story. But that video was really cool. That's like our first like legit video, I guess, working with like someone like trying to make a story for us instead of just like our live video or something. Never really had someone make a based off story for any of our videos and like make us kind of act. So that was a fun experience. Yeah. But I felt like it was good because I don't know, that was all my idea in my head. I was just like, all right, let's just do this and have this, do all these little scenes, and I felt good with that, about that. And then the Order is just about like just keeping your place in line. So it's just like a really good note to have, you know.
No doubt. No, that's awesome to see these ideas that you had in mind come to life and see them surface. And it's like, oh, there you go. This is real. This is real. I wanted to ask you a little bit about working with Paul Fig. How was that? Paul Fig,
Paul Fig is,
yeah, with he worked with Deftones, Jerry Cantrell, Trivium, much more. How was that?
He's sick. He's a very he's very charismatic. So he's just a character for sure. Very wild, kind of like has like bright ideas about stuff. But yeah, he was really cool. Like having to work in his studio was really great. It was our first time like working in like one of those legit studios where it's like you're watching everybody through glass windows and like playing at the same time stuff. So like it was an experience for sure. Yeah, but he was great. He didn't push us too hard with anything. He didn't like overbear us with anything. He was very like good about like giving us ideas and just random things. He's like, oh no, if you're gonna do this, fucking put it all out there. Fucking don't pussyfoot it or something basically. But yeah, he was really great.
Well, it's cool that you mentioned about that you're sitting in the control room or sitting in each room and staring at each other, because I had a feeling that might be a bit of the case, because the album really has that live off the floor feel to it. And is that the case with a lot of it, where it really is everybody playing at once? Or
yeah, I mean that's how it was to start. I mean, we obviously like stopped re-recorded stuff, but like that's basically how we started. And for us it was our first process like that, because we're used to like recording all the drums at once, you know, all the guitars right after, everything like in a sequence. That time it was just like, no, we have to get this whole song done at once. Once that's done, then we'll move on to the next one. But I was like, it was a different process for us, especially with that.
but it must help keep the intensity up when you're actually seeing your other bandmates, and it's like, okay, we got to go, rather than just being in a room by yourself, where it's like
exactly there's the pressure's really on.
Yeah,
like with that. So that's the thing with that. Like you feel that pressure, and you're like, but once it's done, you feel so much like, so appreciation for like, all right, we got that done. We got to do it.
And that just adds to that live organic feel to it, rather than this flat cut and paste album. That's why I think once again that it hits home and has more of that old school flavor to it, because it is very raw in that manner. Now, once again, Process of Elimination out today, many configurations, many multiple colored vinyl and so forth. Where should we direct people? I'm going to post some links on here, of course, but where should we direct people to get Dead Heat product?
Well, metalblade.com. For all the records and stuff, go through them. We will have some when we tour live, so until then, get it from them. We have our merch on our big cartel, so if you want to get something there from there, get it at deadheat805.bigcartel, I think. But one of those, yeah. And then if you're trying to just get through any of our links, we have a link tree on all our things. So if you just look up that, you'll find a link to everything that we have.
Or better yet, how about go see Dead Heat next month with 200 stab wounds, and maybe just buy some merch directly, and maybe get the album signed, perhaps.
Yeah. If you buy stuff there, that's the most exclusive stuff we'll have. Every time we go on tour, I don't make any reruns of merch. It's always something new.
And that's very smart, because then it gets people more, interested in going to see the show, and it's more of a reward. I went to the show, I supported the band, I got a special pressing out of the deal.
Yeah.
Not too bad. So we're going to watch out for these dates, record release shows in December. Those are they nailed down yet, or are you still working on those?
I think it's going to be the third week of December. So I want to say like 20 something, maybe 20 around there. Played around there. So I know we're playing a festival in LA called For the Children. Goes on every year, but that's a pretty big festival for the hardcore scene. And we're playing that one, I think the 19th, I want to say 19th of December.
Okay, so that is just get people to follow you on Facebook and Instagram, and they'll be able to get everything on there. Bands in Town is probably wise as well. We look forward to your announcements of dates coming early in 2026, and hopefully things work out for some big festivals in Europe come summer of 2026, and all the best. And once again, congratulations on the deal with Metal Blade and Process of Elimination. Check out Dead Heat already. This is Chris Ramos. I'm JJ. This is Different Stages Radio.
Fuck yeah. See ya.